Hi, welcome to the WeAre podcast. I'm your host, Karina Kaufman, and today I'm interviewing an e-commerce store owner, Steffanie Monet. She's the founder of Shop Jayla Kids, and she's recognized across social platforms for her sustainable and innovative products. So she's going to be focusing on social media techniques and insights and key learnings. Stephanie, can you share with our audience a little bit about you, where you're from, and your offerings?
Have an online store where we sell inspirational gear for mom, women, and children. We sell water bottles that are reusable. So we try to think of little ways that we can contribute. But as a small business, you can only do so much. But that's pretty much who we are and what we're doing. And
How about you? Where are you from?
so I'm from Oakland. I went to San Francisco State University. I majored in fashion merchandising and marketing. And at San Francisco State, a big part of my degree or my studies was sustainable fashion. So it's kind of always lived in me a little bit in the back of my mind, like whatever I do with my career, just always thinking about the environment and how I can contribute.
Okay, that's great. So right now, when you're getting your products out online, can you tell us more around what inspired you to start using social media to grow your e-commerce business online and how it's changed the way that you connect with your customers?
I always wanted to be a store owner, and when you're young, you don't really know what that looks like. And obviously, the world is changing. I've worked in brick and mortar stores, but they're kind of dying down a little bit and not as powerful as they were, or as necessary, I guess I should say. Like you can totally run an online store from your garage or your warehouse or wherever just fine. So that's kind of how I ended up here. Another way that I ended up online is, as a small business, you're always trying to think of ways to get your business started with the least amount of money. And if you're online, that is right there cutting a huge kind of unnecessary cost in the beginning. So that's kind of how I ended up online. And really, if you're online, you can't not have social media, especially Instagram. Like, yes, I feel like, TikTok is on the up and up, but Instagram is just kind of like one of those things, like in a creative world, I say it's like your LinkedIn. Like if you're telling me you do anything creative, you should have an Instagram presence. Like I'm looking you up, So that is why I leverage social media. And again, my store is online, so I have to be open every day. And a part of me being open every day is letting my customers know. And typically most of my customers live on a social media platform.
It's kind of interesting that you talk about Instagram, and it seems like that's the place where people go to now to verify, is this place legit? But in regards to actually looking at different products or discovering products, which channel would you recommend Instagram for that? Or is there a different social channel that you find is more profitable?
For me, I would still say that it's Instagram. However, Instagram has definitely become a place where you have to pay to play. Like you have to utilize, boosted ads and, things of that sort. TikTok, yes, I see the potential, but it's just a lot of work. So I think it depends on where you are in your life. And when you are trying to grow a business, I do think that you should try to be present in everyone, but there should be one that is like your main focus. And for me, it's just kind of always been Instagram.
When you say TikTok is a lot of work, can you dig a little deeper into like what you mean by that?
All of the platforms, you have to learn the platform, right? So with Instagram, my age, right? My age group will tell you, like, I've kind of grew up with Instagram. So it's just like what I know. With TikTok, I have to learn their systems and keep up. So then there's two different platforms that I'm trying to learn the trends and keep up with. And even with TikTok, there was one point where I was on there and I was like, this is great. I was getting heck of views. But eventually it got to the point where it was like 100 people. And I don't know what happened, but I can't even try to figure out what happened. And then I was also noticing where my sales were coming from. Like, I feel like sometimes people would see me on TikTok and then go to my Instagram to see what I was really about. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said I think that they're probably both good because they're two different audiences, but at the same time, with me being a small business owner, a mother, having a lack of time, I can't like be great at both of them currently.
It also ties into really knowing the target demographic, because for your products, I wonder if they're on maybe in buying more on Instagram than they are on TikTok. They may be on both, but they buy through Instagram. Maybe, I don't, yeah. Do you think that that could be part of it? I could be totally wrong too.
Well, I don't know if I found my audience on TikTok because, I was talking to a homegirl and, she was like, oh, no, I saw a similar, cup or, something for $2. And I'm like, well, I can't keep up with that. Like, this is a handmade cup with love, honey. Like, I can't give this to you for $2. So those are the things that I've had issues with, is that I'm showing my stuff and then they're like, oh, you might also like a cup like this. And then it's like, from freaking, I don't know.
Yeah. Or I'm wondering, do they even incorporate then AliExpress? I wonder if they have a presence then on TikTok, because it is based in China, to where then they're able to offer that at a fraction of the cost.
And think about that, because I was talking to my friend and she was like, how are they able to sell this stuff for so low? But you're right. They're probably just, tapping in. Another thing that I have been seeing, my brother was telling me, you have to start selling live. And that's something I've been seeing on TikTok like no other, is that people are just live streaming like this, like I'm talking to you and I'm like, just showing you my sweatshirt and modeling it for you. And then, I'm turning around and then the price is at the bottom with the description. And then, I'll take this sweatshirt off and try on another one and show you. I've seen them do wigs. I've seen them do everything. So again, the power of social media.
So it's like QVC. That was my era.
Exactly, girl.
Available.
Yes. UVC. Exactly. Yeah. Yes.
So have you tried that yet for Shop Jayla Kids?
On Instagram, I could go live. On TikTok, I cannot go live because I'm just now kind of starting to grow that one. And I think you have to have, I don't know how many followers again. Now, what I will say about going live on Instagram, I don't think you can go live QVC style on Instagram and on TikTok, because it's just not the same platform.
Then you can give them a shout out as the order goes through. Like, I see you, Sally Joe in Florida.
I haven't come across that on Instagram just yet.
Well, no, wait. You have your Instagram. Yeah, you have your Instagram going live, but you're directing people to, get this on the site. I'm only going to offer this pricing for this 5 minutes that I'm on here. And then every order that I get, I'm going to notice it through my Shopify platform. I'm going to give you a shout out, Sally Joe in Florida.
This is what I'm saying, Crystal Lollipop of California, is that even on TikTok, I can show up on TikTok kind of just out of the bed, it just feels different.
Really? Instagram, that's another thing.
They're different platforms. I see you $5 off, but I just don't think I don't know. I don't have it in me. It's even now still hard for me to go live.
Big ideas, no action marketer.
Yeah, I know. No, but that's a great point. So again, that is the future too, selling live. So, and it even came to me too, like with my store, I always wanted a store, and I'm seeing other people going live, and I'm seeing sometimes people go from their store, and I'm like, really, this could be my store.
Yeah.
Literally, like shelves here, and it's online, just live.
Yeah.
And I'm showing you, like, hey, this is in new type of thing. I see where it's going. I just got to get on the train.
Can you talk to me about one of your most successful social media campaigns?
Recognizing it for what it is. Like, Instagram is not what it used to be. I was on there hitting the pavement and hashtag this, hashtag that, and getting 2 likes and 10 views. And you have, over how many ever followers, but you're still not growing. And I think just realizing, I think I might have had a conversation with you, is just like, boost your ads. And since then, I mean, if you do a little boost, it doesn't have to break your bank, because, we're talking to people of all, income levels. Our where you're starting at, but even just a small little boost on, your stuff just to get the recognition, to get your product out there. For me, that has been the most successful, is a little bit of an ad boost. And then also just making sure that I am showing up consistently and authentically, for sure. Like, people want to see you.
When you go through the process of paid media on Instagram and you're going to do an ad boost, can you walk someone who's never gone through that before through the steps?
We talk about Instagram, and Instagram is Facebook. So you first need to start there and make sure that you have your business account and your admin account set up with Facebook. Once you have that, your Instagram is linked, you're ready to go. Make sure it's good, good quality. Think about if it was you and you were scrolling, would you, hey, what's this? Or stop, make sure you're picking action items like that. I think videos are good. I also kind of sometimes even feel like a carousel is good, because Instagram seems like they're going back to their, old school tactics. So that's something that I would make sure. And then make sure that it's proofread. All of your hashtags are what you need them to be, because once you hit boost, that's it. You can't reboost it or edit it or anything. So you want to make sure that it's the best possible. Check your ad, make sure it's ready to go, because once you boost it, you cannot edit it. You cannot delete it. It's kind of just out there. I think it indefinitely, like.
They only need to have a photo. What are the components of the ad?
I think that if you're going to do a carousel, then do a carousel. So just do a photo. You have the caption area to, do your call of action in your ad. In a video, one thing I would say about a video, I have not really done this, but I see it happen and I understand why it works, is that if you're doing a video with a tip, like a style tip or whatever, pack them in there. You got a video where you're moving fast, you're doing different things, and you're, going out different tips in neat spaces that, are appeasing to the eyes, but it keeps changing. People are going to keep watching your video because they're trying to say, wait, what, then, how was that styled? What, so that's a good, way to keep them engaged and keep your video going, because you could boost the ad, but then if an ad goes also viral, just kind of off of the amount of views you're getting, then that's extra, bang for your buck.
What ads do you find yourself responding to, or that you've seen work well for yourself and your business, shopjaylakids.com?
Sometimes a good flat lay is good, depending on what it is, like that way you can really see it, like a flat lay, what a flat lay is, right?
No, so I don't use social media myself, even though I work in marketing. Don't tell people that. But yeah, I hate social media. Probably shouldn't even say all of that.
No, you shouldn't.
What?
You know what? You have to change your way of thinking, because I used to feel that way too, but not hate, because I would feel like it was just like a lot and taxing, but it's a place, and you just got to think about, it's a place you have to show up for your business. People go to the metaverse every day, multiple times a day. So you market there, you show up there to people, you get customers, and that's just how you look at social media. Okay, so a flat lay is like a still image, right? You know how you see those pictures where it's like the background, and then you just see like the pants thrown there with the shoes styled to the side. Like, it's on the floor though. You can tell it's like on the floor or on a table.
Okay.
But it's that good view where you can just see it like laying flat.
Oh, okay. And you see that you respond to those you find more than other styles.
I mean, for clothing, yeah. So like if you did like a cute little flat lay, so a good carousel could be, a cute little flat lay, maybe a cute picture like with the girl wearing the sweatshirt, and then maybe just the product after, and then voila.
Okay, great. Thank you. What would you recommend for someone that has products that are not apparel? They can't wear them. It's something like a reusable water bottle like yours.
Well, you can also do flat lays with that, but even that, I feel like those sometimes are even easier because there's so many mock-up tools, right? Where you can get a mock-up tool of the background already there, and you literally just drag your image on top of a hand holding your cup, or you can get creative. I don't know your budget, go to the dollar store or go to Michael's, get you foam boards, make you a little backdrop with the bottom, clean wines. It's Valentine's Day, throw you some Valentine's Day decor in there, put your water bottles in there, and take cute photos and edit it a little.
Nice. Thank you. Can you share a moment when you faced a significant challenge and what kept you going during the dark times of e-commerce?
Today, yesterday, the day before that. I mean, especially around this time because you're coming off of Christmas and then it's like, but you're still exhausted. So trying to think of ways to keep it going. I think that more than anything, especially when you are a small business owner, like literally you have to show up to work every day. The marketer has to show up to work every day. The accountant has to show up to work every day. The photographer has to show up to work every day. And you got to be on every day. I mean, in the beginning, when the sales aren't rolling in and the Instagram isn't popping like you want it to pop, it is dark, it is tired, and it is lonely. Not because if you see it, you can't achieve it. Just keep going because one day it's going to pop.
Can you give our listeners advice that are facing challenges in their business right now, like you just did? So how can they stay motivated and push through when things get tough?
I think everybody's different. I think everybody should have some sense of.
What advice would you give to listeners who are facing challenges in their business right now?
As a business owner, it's a dream that lives in your imagination. So when you're dealing with a dream, you're probably tapped into some type of higher source to keep you going, that gives you faith, that keeps your adrenaline running, right? But I think that putting like pieces of your imagination on paper and setting goals and checking in with yourself, it can help you stay accountable. I believe that if you stay accountable, you stay consistent, something is going to change. Yes, it can get hard. That is the part of being a business owner. It's a up, a down, a turnaround, but the joy isn't in that. The joy is in what you're trying to accomplish. So just enjoy the journey. Yes, it won't be easy, but it'll be worth it. I would just say just hold on and keep going until the wheels fall off.
Share with us a mistake that you've made in your business journey and how you bounced back.
I think a mistake that I've made is stopping. This is a good question to ask after the last question, because again, what I'm telling you, I'm also telling myself. That's how I even started this inspirational t-shirt business, is because I was in a place where I'm like, a sister needs a hug, and I just started to share that, and it started to bring me joy and give me hope. And it's just like, it's kind of like a living affirmation, making shirts and saying it out loud and wearing it and believing it and telling you and telling her and telling my daughters. It's like you start to believe what you say and you start to walk in that. So I think, like I said, the biggest mistake for me is just quitting. And I'm at a point now where I'm not going to quit. Like I dare to see what happens if I'm consistent for 365 days. If I'm praying, if I'm working out, if I'm consistent with my business, I believe that my life is gonna change and it's gonna be freaking awesome, So like I said, the biggest mistake is just quitting. So if you quit, dust it off, get back up and just keep trying.
Thank you for that. I identify with that. I also identify with feeling overwhelmed at times. It's like you're an octopus and there's just so many things going on in your mind at the same time. So how do you deal with feeling overwhelmed? And what would you recommend to listeners that are experiencing that as well? Especially you're a mother, you're a wife. I mean, golly.
Girl, I think I'm just now like starting to crack the code. Because, you would have asked me this a few months ago, coming off of planning a wedding and all that. I was like, but now I've just been really trying to just ground myself in peace and enjoy, regardless of what's going on around me. And I feel like when I do those things, I start to be a little bit more clear upstairs because I'm changing my focus. Then I start to focus on what I can, what it can I control, then it starts to narrow down the chaos. Then once you figure out what you can control, you start to figure out the priority of things. Again, starting to dwindle down the chaos. So for me, it's just, I don't want chaos to exist in my home. So staying on task, having a planner, being organized will change your life. And sorry, I always throw this out here. praying to your homie. It will change your life, keep you centered, keep you grounded, but you have to do your part too. And your part is showing up, staying consistent, and staying on task.
That's awesome. Oh, I have one. So what's one thing that you wish you would have known before starting Shop Jayla Kids? And,
Man, it's funny because now I started, so like I said, I went to school because I wanted to own a store. It's funny because I went to school for fashion merchandising and marketing. And in hindsight, I probably should have went to school for a business. I wanted a store, so like you think about things like that. But again, it's all about the journey and how you get to places. You're going to make me cry my lashes off.
what do you wish you would have known before starting an e-commerce business that you could show others that are in the same position where they haven't started yet?
Okay, got it.
Right things to know before starting an e-commerce business by Steffanie Monet at shopjaylakids.com.
So the things that I wish I would have known. So I actually started this business back in it started off as Shop Jayla, right? It was an online boutique. Then, I realized how hard that could be, like having so much product that's not evergreen, product that goes in and out of style. You're just sitting on product. It's super expensive, right? So I think number one, now that I'm back into it, it's knowing the power of social media. I wish I would have known that then. Knowing the importance of capital, credit, like business credit, how to build it, when you should build it, which is pretty early on, And I guess I would say too, I mean, the amount of grit that really comes with it, it looks super glamorous. She works for herself. Yes, I work for myself and by myself. Like one woman shop right now, So of course it won't always be like that. And I think that is the beauty of being being a business owner, is that you in the beginning you do everything, because when it's time to roll out those jobs, you know exactly what they are and exactly how you want them to get done. So again, I enjoy the process, but definitely, again, knowing how to build your credit is important, and knowing the importance of just, it's you. It's not as glamorous. So hang in there.
Steffanie, we're going to move into talking about sustainability now, because, it's a growing industry for everyone. And so it's a critical factor as well for many consumers. And so can you talk to us a little bit more about what inspired you to introduce a reusable water bottle product to your lineup?
Like I said, I went to school for fashion, and crazy enough, it was all about sustainability and fashion, and, not being wasteful or caring, and caring for our environment. For me, I mean, that's how I drink my water. Like, we have a water jug. We love water. I love it to stay cold. And again, I'm a fashion girl, so I like the fact that it's reusable. I also like the fact that it can, tie in really cute with my different outfits. And I like the fact that, I'm not being wasteful. So I'm just trying to find little ways in my business that are controllable. And for me, the water bottles are controllable, where they're reusable, they're practical, they're cute, they make sense, and they bring joy. So that's my little tidbit, or my little way that I contribute.
Thank you. And so when you were in school, how are you on time?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. When you were in school, what were some things that they told you about fashion and sustainability, or, with business? Can you share some quick highlights or something?
So with us, the biggest thing was fast fashion, right? Because we live in a world where there's fashion back in the day. And that was the point of it, because we are all in school to do something fashion related. Well, it's basically, they wanted us to know our part. As you come into our university and you learn how to, make garments or enter into the fashion business, know that what you're contributing, like what it's doing to the environment. So also, as you do that, think of ways to, not harm the environment. Like, are you using products that break down well? Could they be reused? Or when you're done with it, what are you doing with it? Don't just throw it away, donate it or repurpose it. So one project that we did when I was in school was we partnered with the De Young Museum in San Francisco, and each group had to take tablecloths and rebuild and remake something using sustainable tablecloths. So I mean, my point is just they really taught us to own our part within fashion. Not only do you make a statement with your career by being innovative, but you also make a statement by, being sustainable.
That's great. So the industry itself, that's the sustainability fun fact. It's expected to grow from 11 billion in 2023 to 15 billion by 2028. How do you see this trend shaping the future of e-commerce? And then why should our online business owners make sustainability a priority? Aside from the obvious, aside from being a good citizen of the earth from a business perspective.
I'm just saying, aside from that, why should they make it a priority?
Yes. Aside from aside from the do-gooder perspective, but the business opportunity value.
So wait, when you said that it's predicted to grow, you're meaning like people being responsible and doing their part towards being a sustainable company.
So there's actually going to be, I foresee that there's going to be laws and regulations that are going to mandate, like just how in California by 2035, new vehicles, we have to purchase electric vehicles. I think that they're going to probably have certain regulations applied to businesses that are manufacturing or maybe procuring, that we have to buy products that are sustainable. And so then talking about the opportunity value there as a business owner to basically like, hey, you better get on board and start converting some of your things to be in line with sustainable or have a sustainability. Just like it's a thing of even marketing. If you're able to certify something as organic or claim that, then people may, be more likely to buy that because consumers are developing an awareness around the benefits of sustainable companies and products. I guess I answered my own question.
I think I should.
Yeah. And then I'll just do it my answer.
I think it was better, like, because
and what's
Journey's favorite thing. Journey's favorite thing. She's like, can I have it? And I'm like, no. And she's like,
okay, let's see. Let me know if these are good questions for you. How has including sustainable products impacted your brand and customer loyalty? How has including sustainable products impacted your brand and customer loyalty? For shopjaylakids.com.
It's funny because I don't even know if the consumer thinks of it as sustainability, like when it comes down to my business, but obviously that's how I think of it. But you think it is a sustainable product, but it's also a fashionable, fun product, So
what is the product again?
So we have the cups, and we have t-shirts and we have hoodies. But one thing that I try to do is like do collections where it's more like limited, So when it comes out, then you're like, oh, I want to have this cup to match this shirt. But I still feel like it's something that you hold on to because it is a limited edition. So kind of making that having that scarce mentality or scarce feel for the product.
Limited supplies.
Yes, has made them value it and hold on to it. But I think that it being sustainable is what sells it. People want something that they can keep reusing and have for the long time. People don't want junk anymore. And I don't want to sell junk. So for me, that's how I think sustainably too. Like, is this something that people can have for the long run and would they want to have it for the long run?
I think that's really important.
It's something that's so good or so durable that we can just, secondhand it and not just trash it.
That's nice too. The beauty of a regift or a hand-me-down.
Especially when it's cute.
Yes, because, people can outgrow the cup because it's, people's interests change, the children's interests change. I know that you have Minions offering lines and a number of different cartoon characters.
Well, in the kids' cups, I mean, you know how kids are. It's something new all the time.
That's true.
But honestly, the cups are just like a cute add-on. It's the sweatshirts and the t-shirts that really sell. And even with those, I do the same thing. I try some stuff I have as a staple on my site, but a lot of stuff is seasonal. It's good quality. It washes well. It's durable. It's something you can have next season and, for time to come. So again, just also selling quality products. It's another way to make sure that you're doing your part as being a sustainable company. And, I'm starting to see a lot of bigger companies do things like buybacks, like you can come donate your stuff back to them and they'll recycle it. So I'm almost willing to bet too, even from my standpoint, that a lot of these companies that I buy sweatshirts from and, maybe not cups, but for sure sweatshirts and t-shirts, eventually they might want buybacks too, so that they can recycle and reuse the same, cotton materials.
Have you ever considered using the keyword sustainable or key phrase sustainable business in any of your marketing?
So I have, but I feel like I would want it to be like a special thing in my business. And if anything, I would gear it more towards the children. But the hard thing about stuff like that, sustainability and even offering children's clothing or things for children, is that it's quite expensive. So again, as a small business, it's trying to find that sweet spot, between being sustainable, being, responsible, and also being profitable.
The marketer in me wants to experiment with even the tag Black sustainable business. What do you think about that?
Like making me a Black sustainable business? It's just hard because once you get put in a box, you better show up. So I think that I have to make sure that I'm walking like I'm talking.
She is. You have the water bottles.
I do.
You didn't say certified.
I do. But the question then becomes, marketer in you, does my target market value that?
Well, we don't know until we test. That's what a marketer will always say. You could test it. It may be an opportunity for you to, also justify the price point that you have. Because I know that even when I have your sweatshirt, I was like, oh my gosh, this is not Shein, people. This is, Shop J-List. So it speaks for itself. When you have it, you could feel it. But just even on just the water bottles, I think that there might be some traffic that could be generated around the sustainable products. There may be an emergence of another customer profile for you with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because like you said, it's a sustainable product. It's reusable. So either way. Yeah.
Yeah. There's the moms out there that do care about the environment and have, the bucks to spend as well.
Yep.
So let's see. If someone listening today is feeling stuck or unsure about starting their online business, what would you say to them?
Start. Just because you build it does not mean they will come, but still show up every day like they're there. Mm-hmm. That's what I would say. Because that's the thing. When they're not there, you're like, well, I don't have to go to work today. But you do. You're online. Because every time you don't show up, that's like me coming to your business and you got a close sign on the door. You're not there. I don't want to buy from you. You're not consistent. I haven't seen you in 5 months. What you selling, So, and then you never know when that person's going to come across your feed or come across your page. And if they do, you would hate for them to love what they see and then say, but this is it. They're, they don't post much. So your store is your Instagram or your business and all that. If it's online, show up every day so people can see your product and know what you do and know what you're about.
Thank you. That's great. How do you balance your business goals with the needs of your family and personal life? And if you can repeat the question, or we could skip the question.
How do I balance my goals with my personal life and my business? Mm-hmm. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. I be struggling. It's the truth. It's the struggle. But like I was telling you earlier about being overwhelmed, that's part of it, right? Being a mother, being a business owner. My husband's a business owner. It's popping over here. But I prioritize and I do block schedules. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, I work at a trucking company. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm at my store. Do not call me on Tuesday or Thursday for my trucking company because I am out of office. You can call me every day for my store though, but I don't have an actual number. But I'm just kidding. I show up for both, but really I try to prioritize that these days are set for this. And that for me just kind of dials down the chaos. over the winter break, the kids were home and I was going down. But you also have to know too, as a business owner and as a mother, how to prioritize and how to balance. So even for me going into this new year, this upcoming Christmas won't look like last Christmas. I'm going to make sure that I'm prepared, 100% so that when my kids come, I don't feel guilty or bad because I feel overwhelmed that they're home, because this is really why I'm doing all of this, is for my family. So I don't want to lose sight of that.